Hey everyone, now I'm joined by some members of Soar Gaming. In fact, a couple very important members of Soar Gaming. We've got Jigs, your support right here, Aninster, the jungler, and Baskin, the solo laner. How you doing so far, guys?
Good.
Good.
Really?
Yeah, dude, not too bad.
Yeah, we get some words out of Aninster there for now. So talk to me about this journey that you guys have been on. I mean, this is a team that has gotten a lot of praise from a lot of different areas, players, community alike. What's it been like to kind of grow as a team with all this expectation over your shoulders?
Go ahead, Jigglypuff.
Go ahead, Baskin.
Go ahead, Andy.
I don't know. It's not too bad. I mean, I don't really feel like the weight of expectation, especially me and Baskin coming off of C9 previously. Like there was definitely a ton of expectation on that team relative to this team. I mean, people expect us to win, but not quite the fan base. Yeah, I don't know. It's all right.
How does it differ? It might not have the same fan base, but how does the actual team environment differ from what you had on C9?
Well, we had Baron Jeff, which was just like always that positivity that we had from that duo lane, which we don't quite get anymore.
Positivity. Bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. We have our differences sometimes, but we work hard to make sure that the problems are sorted properly. You know, not just like, oh, we're not gonna have conflicts because we're just scared to argue. We have the conflicts so that we can actually properly fix issues.
All right. Jigs, what's this been like for you? I mean, this is a team that you coached TSM earlier on, and then you come and you finally get a chance to make your team. Is this the team that the level of play that you expected from the team whenever you made it initially?
Yeah, of course. I mean, going back to the expectation question. So I was like the original one on the team.
Sure.
I was on Soar when neither of these guys were, and I was the first one to ask Baskin to join, and then he joined, and then the next split I was the one that asked Andy to join when Homie and Hurry left or got kicked.
Mm-hmm.
And so like for me, I feel like the expectations are really high to get like suitable replacements. Well, at least for Andy. For Baskin, the expectation was like really high because he was leaving like what was supposed to be a first seeded team for pretty much a bunch of randoms at the time. So the expectations were pretty much, did they make the right choice? So I always felt like we had to prove yes.
Do you feel like you've done that so far?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. I know that the expectations for everyone is to win worlds. That's the goal, right? That's the word I wanted to use there, goal. But what is anything less than that acceptable to you guys? Is there any shame in making worlds and not winning?
Is there any shame? I don't think shame's the right word. We definitely would be disappointed if we didn't win worlds, but I think just as a team in Smite right now where it's so competitive and everyone's so close, you kind of have to expect, even though you might think you're the best, you have to expect that teams can beat you in like a best of 3 or a best of 5 or a best of 1. So even though our expectation is to win worlds, we can't really be upset if we fall short of it just because of how competitive Smite is right now. It's so much more competitive than last split, and I don't know. I feel like at this point there's no shame really in falling short of winning. There's
a lot of talk about your roster as the best mechanical roster in North America. If you had to pick one player that is the best mechanical player on your team,
Guys, stop.
I'd say I'd say obviously Andy. Jigs is the best mechanical support, but he's pretty much the worst mechanical anything else.
Exactly.
For support. I mean,
Best mechanical
come on.
Support.
That's high for
That's like the lowest compliment you can give, right?
Support's pretty much like, I don't know, like the kids you give the participation trophy to.
Exactly.
Like, good job, buddy.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'd say Andy.
Congratulations, you hit your gigantic cone ability.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Your Blink Cataclysm
I'm the
hit
best
one
Athena
person.
taunter in the whole world, apparently.
That's big. Andy, you have a thought?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Snoopy is the one who has the potential to make the biggest plays, but in terms of like consistent mechanics, I'd say it's Baskin.
What's that transition been like for Snoopy? And you can't obviously speak for him, but from your perspectives, working with him in the jungle, being with him in the 3v3 core fights, watching Snoopy die from solo lane, What's that kind of been like for you guys?
Like we didn't expect him to be like yamming from day one, but like part of the reason that I just love teaming with Soupy is because of his positive attitude. Mid is kind of the role that dies a lot. A lot of mids will complain about that and stuff like that, but Snoopy just always has a positive attitude.
Is this like a dream scenario for you, Andy? Because you get to take a player that you're friends with that's mechanically gifted and then create him into the perfect Anninster bot, right? Like you tell him because he's like, what do I do? And you're like, yes, now I get to tell him what I want him to do.
Yeah, a little bit. And we just talk about like what we want to do, I think, really well. Like if I'm doing something dumb, he'll just be like, yeah, that was dumb. Just fix it. And then, I don't know.
Wow. Sounds like a really strong team dynamic.
Sure, yeah, we're kind of just like not afraid to call people out.
Yeah.
I see that from
yeah.
you, Jigs. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure sometimes it's bad, but a lot of the times it gets stuff fixed.
Definitely the positives outweigh the negatives. It's kind of weird because I feel like on C9 and on previous Soar, a lot of people were too timid to talk. But it's actually really, I guess, refreshing to have just people who aren't afraid. And even if they call you out and you might get defensive, like in the moment, because obviously people don't like getting called out, but it's just a good, healthy thing for people to realize their mistakes, I guess.
Would you say that's your biggest strength as a team? Your willingness to be upfront about the mistakes and try and fix them? Or would you say you have another greatest strength?
I think that's definitely our biggest strength in terms of team atmosphere.
Yeah, I'd say that's one of our biggest strengths.
What's something that you guys try to work on as a team the most? What would you say is your greatest weakness as a team?
Trolling.
Probably trolling.
It actually probably is trolling.
Trolling and scrims and sometimes SPL and sometimes LAN games, yeah. That does happen sometimes.
Everyone looking at Baskin during this time.
It's all harmless, I swear. I'd say one of our biggest weaknesses, I'd honestly say it's weird because a lot of people comment on our individual mechanics and play. I actually think that's one of our biggest strengths, obviously, and also could be a weakness because a lot of times I feel like we play individually and not as a team just because like all 5 of us are so confident in our individual ability. It's actually funny because we kind of have a running joke in the team. It's if anyone says like they're the best, like X god, like Medusa, like I'm the best Medusa in the world, and everyone else be like, no, I'm the best. No, I'm the best. Like everyone has great pride in their mechanical individual skill, which obviously is an amazing thing. I really like being on a team where I could just rely on pretty much every single ability in a team fight connecting. But it also does cause us to play individually sometimes, like a ranked game.
Do you guys do anything as a team outside of Smite? Do you play any other games together, or do you like watch movies? Anything like that?
Yeah, actually, we like to watch movies a lot, especially Med and Soupy. They always ask us after scrims, like what movie we're watching today and stuff like that.
What was the last movie you watched together?
All 5 of us, or 6 of us, it was Zootopia.
Solid movie.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was a great movie.
That was a good flick.
Yeah, but usually it's just like 3 to 4 people. It's usually not the whole team just because not everyone can stay after.
Usually some like random group of people watch a movie each night, depending on who wants to.
And then you can reference it in scrims, and then everyone who missed it is like completely out of the loop for sure.
Yep.
All right, let's see here. Did you guys do a boot camp of any sort? No, like sort of group up in person necessarily, but I'm assuming you guys kind of locked it down and scrimmed pretty hard leading up to this.
Yeah. We definitely, going back to the trolling thing, we definitely are by nature trolls, except for Jigs probably. Everyone on the team is by nature a troll, but this past week leading up to LAN, we all had like a team talk, like no more messing around. We're gonna pick seriously. We wrote down our picks, and we're happy with the results, and hopefully it'll show.
Do you guys? What would you say is your greatest accomplishment as a team? What are you most proud of with this squad?
With these 5 players.
With these 5 players, yeah.
We've only been together for the split, so I guess like stomping Group D really hard.
I mean, that was supposed to be a big group of death, right?
I'd say Group D. We were really proud of that. We actually did think that was going to be a very tough competition going into Group D, like everyone else did. But I'm actually not sure what happened. Like even up till the point that we were sitting in our seats, like the first game winning against Envy really hard. Like we thought that was just going to be super tough games throughout the whole weekend. But I don't know. to our surprise and our pleasure, I guess. It was easy games.
What is there someone on the team that comes up with like some strange ideas? You got a theory crafter on the squad?
This guy.
Not me.
We got Matt and Andy swear they
Oh
have
my
No,
original ideas.
yeah, we got
but
met with
they're
like
just dumb.
every other week he has some new
Yeah.
guy that he wants to play in ADC, and we
Yeah.
just
With
call
Shield
him
of
out on that.
Regrowth, right?
Yeah,
That's
With
what
Shield of
we're
Oh, he
calling it.
Regrowth.
loves that
Yeah,
on Naja.
Of course.
Yeah.
Arachne, Naja, Hebo. He's always wanted to try just weird stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Met has one of the biggest god pools in Smite.
Yeah.
And again, that's like a strength and a weakness because he'll come into scrims one week begging us for him to play Hebo ADC every game. And we just kind of have to say no.
he gets mad.
And he's like, come on.
And that's when the trolling
You guys
began.
don't trust
me.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. What about you guys have any pregame rituals? Is there something that like you guys like to do before every game to get you in the right space?
As a team, not really. We probably all have some individual pregame rituals. I know Snoopy's pregame ritual is always to mess up his sleep schedule and be tired or late to scrims. He loves it. I think, obviously helps him perform better, I think,
Yes,
hopefully.
cleally.
Yeah.
Baskin's pregame ritual is to always talk about how hard we're gonna lose. So we have last place on lockdown.
Yeah. I always say that just to like, I don't know, it's kind of reverse psychology, hopefully.
Mm.
I don't really know. I just say it 'cause it's funny.
There's no reason he says it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you go into an arena game and just like feed your brains out?
Yeah, exactly. It gets me in the
Not
mood.
on purpose.
Yeah. And then Andy will say some weird saying like, I don't know.
What do I say?
Shiwalidu.
Andy always says something and he loves it, and he just keeps.
We're gonna
saying it
listen
the
into
whole weekend.
comms. Yeah, we're gonna listen into comms right beforehand and just be like, all right, guys, shoop-a-loop or whatever.
All right, I don't think I've ever said anything like.
You definitely said funny stuff. All the funniest stuff has come from you.
Yeah.
I hear you
Not
coined
pregame.
MLC Stealth the cannon,
Yeah,
right?
I don't even know where that came from though. I don't
Your
even-
mouth.
Yeah. Just your brain, dude.
Genius strikes, I guess. So you guys, we talked about it earlier on, just kind of like this management of pressure. And I kind of want to go down the line because I think every single one of you guys gets talked about as best in their roles and how that affects you guys. And we'll start with you, Jigs. Does it, whenever you hear best mechanical support, what does that make you think?
I'm just not sure how any support misses any abilities. I mean, they're just all gigantic circles.
Do you
I don't even know what that means.
you don't do you agree with that necessarily? Do you feel do you
Um,
put yourself in that conversation?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I feel like most support god pools play characters that generally you can't really mess up. So, I don't know. I feel like I have better like game knowledge and stuff. Maybe like more useful active usage. Like I'm
Mhm.
more conservative and I save it for more like valuable moments. But I mean, I think I hit most of my abilities, but I don't know.
What separates the top supports from the mediocre supports at the pro level?
Definitely positioning and just like overall map awareness.
Who would you put in that conversation with yourself if you are putting yourself there as top supports?
Definitely Jeff and Shadowq, I think, are the other top two.
All right, awesome. Andy, how about you? I mean, you went from being pretty much a uniform best player during season 1, and then there was a lot of talk about did you fall off, all this kind of stuff. How has that affected your gameplay?
Not really sure. I mean, I think like my fall off kind of was like maybe my ego getting too big or something. Like I didn't really practice as hard, and I just kind of thought like I would always like going into games. I'm like, how could I possibly lose? Like it was definitely really bad.
Yeah.
But it was kind of. I mean, I guess it's good that I started like people started like losing that respect that they had for me maybe during season 1, and it's helped me now. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm really the best right now. At least not on a consistent level. That's really about it.
How motivated are you? I mean, I know obviously the great goal is winning worlds, but how much do you want to prove that you are still one of the best players in the world?
Yeah, I've definitely been working towards that. Like, that's why like it motivates me to do everything. Honestly, like every time I'm like, I don't really want to watch this VOD, or I don't really want to scrim right now, or I don't want to give it as much effort. Like I always think like, all right, like I want to be the best. Like I want to have the best attitude possible, so that we can win games, and I just try my best for that.
Baskin, how about you? I mean, not only in your role necessarily as a solo laner, but a lot of people bring you up in overall in Smite. If they were to pick one person to start a team with, it would be you. How does that make you feel?
Although it makes me feel good, I think all the conversations about like I guess best player in the world, like not in their role. I think that's sort of like an inherently flawed conversation. I guess I don't
Sure.
think you could really compare role by role. I do think I'm a top solo laner, but I just have like previously. I feel like the solo lane role was very shallow. I guess there was only like there was like the top 3 solo laners, and there's a very high drop off. But now I feel like this split, every solo laner that was maybe like bad or not good was pretty much weeded out or improved. So I think literally every single solo laner in the SPL right now is very close with each other. Even Cope BB, who was kicked for underperforming, I thought even he was good, and that was his first split in solo. I don't know, maybe solo is just an easy role or something, but I don't actually think that.
I mean, it must be because I can play solo and solo you. Am I
Yeah.
right? You knew you weren't going to get out of this without me just talking something about
Yeah,
that.
I knew it was gonna be brought up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh God, the memories.
It was good times.
Yeah. But yeah, I just have a lot of respect for every solo laner, and I do think it's a lot about matchups nowadays. Just as the game in general has evolved from playing well to picks and strategies.
All right, guys, that was Soar Gaming again. Jigs, Annenster, and Baskin. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was an awesome time, and we'll see you guys next time.